New year to my channel. You haven't come across me before. My name is Cecilia, and this channel is all about spirituality, self-development, and the human condition. So if you want to be more like informed about money in connection with like spirituality or any other topic of spirituality based, because we are to experience human experience, however, the underlying experience is really real is a spiritual part of us, okay? How powerful are we based on our spirituality? The physicality is actually controlled by the spiritually unseen. All the physical things in the world haven't really manifested properly without coming from a source which is more energetic, which is more spiritual, right? So today we're going to talk about the most interesting topic called money. Now we're talking about money today based on the feeling of abundance, the feeling abundant, feeling taken care of, feeling of plentifulness within your life can actually manifest more money opportunities for you in different ways, okay, depending on your own worldview and your own perception. Okay, there's certain people that won't consider certain things manifesting into their life because they don't think it's possible. It's not part of their worldview. So today we're going to talk more about that in terms of how that really affects us and how much money we get to experience in a lifetime based on our reality, the real mindset, what we really think about life. The reality you're actually experiencing is linked to the reality in your mind, your mindset. And that's where it all starts from your mindset, your worldview that brings forth that reality because that's how it works. Okay, quantum physics. Okay, let's continue. So today let's dabble more into this concept about the feeling of abundance. Okay, so the feeling of abundance is also linked to the manifestation of money into your life, like money connected situations and circumstances that can bring more money into your life experience. Okay, so today we're talking about the spirituality side of things. Okay, many spiritual and self-development teachers, the modern one, speak about the abundance even when you have a little in your life, you're experiencing little, but you know there's more to life. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people talking about their life experience, how they manage to manifest more money into their lives or manifest situations that brought more money. Okay, because this is how it works. We need to have a way of bringing this money into our reality. This is what we really believe, right? I need a job, I need an opportunity, I need a business opportunity, I need to win the lotto. You understand? That's the form, the medium in which the money is gonna come in, because that's what we are taught here on this earth. We taught that we need to go get a job, go and start a business, or maybe just then play the lotto and take your chance, right? And then win some money. That's how we think as human beings, okay? Because that's how we are programmed. Because we're born in homes where we saw our parents struggling and hustling, some of us. Some of us are born in more affluent homes where we saw our parents being able to take care of the family without no problem because they were running businesses or they were coming from wealthy families where their families were actually moneyed, okay? You understand? So very few people experience that type of experience, but a lot of people are experiencing the difficult side of things that you need to go work and then may have money come into a reality. Okay. So the modern spiritual and self-development teachers say that the feeling of abundance within you when you have little may shift your reality into something more beautiful, more aligned to your feeling. Okay, now remember that every experience triggers a feeling or an emotion. All right, now we have like mental, emotional blocks when we get to experience experiences that don't show us that money is easy, that money is for every person. You understand? Some of us are getting experiences where we are experiencing our families being in extreme poverty. So we seem to think or perceive that money is so far. Remember, everything is a perception. If you think that money is very far and it's scarce and it's hard to get, that molds your reality. Okay, now remember, there's always a duality on everything. Okay, so you might have this belief that you need to work very hard to make that money, right? And that'll activate you to go out there and do something physical so you can get more money in your life. Okay, however, when you focus purely on that action, and not on your ability to attract it into your life. It becomes about the hustle, not about the ease and the flow of money into your life. And you don't feel worthy, guys. I tell you why you don't feel worthy when you have that hustle mentality. Each time you get a rejection, each time you get a so-called failure, it really affects your whole frequency and it makes you feel more in the struggle. It puts your nervous system in a place of fight or flight mode, right? Then you feel that I really need to get up. If I don't get up in the morning and I don't do A, B, and C, then I'm not gonna make money. Right? Month in I won't have money, week in I won't have money because you think it's a big hustle. Now you're like a little what they call it, a little animal in that treadmill going round and round and round. You're chasing the money because you don't have the feeling of abundance, okay? A person can be a worker bee, but have the feeling of abundance. You know that work is where I go in and I express myself, I sell my skills and my time for money, and I'm a brand. You see, now that's more of like self-worth. I feel great about myself. I know that I'm selling something to get something that I want, right? And I know that I don't have to be working so hard. I need to find smarter ways of actually attracting this money into my reality. Now we have tools like AI and stuff that can help us actually be more better business people, more better employees as well. You don't have to sit there for hours and hours doing the report anymore. You can just go to Copilot, ChatGTP, Gemini, any other tool that you're using, because now there's some of them are linked to Microsoft and Google and stuff like that. And then you can get your stuff done easily with you just like putting in some words, they make it easy and using your wisdom because you are the source of that material. You just asking that app that application to help you get the research and information you need. So a report that used to take a week or even 3 days to do, you can do it now in like 5 minutes and complete it within like 20 minutes. You're now ready to even give it to your senior managers and stuff like that, right? Now we have fast ways of making money. Now it's no more a hustle anymore. But a lot of people are still believing that money is a hustle, that money is difficult to come, but it's hard to make money. It's not hard, it's not difficult. It's about you thinking out of out of the box, out of the mainstream thinking, the way you were brought up that money is a hustle. It's not a hustle and it's not a struggle. Right now, today, guys, for those who just joined my live, thank you for joining my live. Tabiso and is it L Zena? Thank you for joining my live. I'm Sissy, life coach and motivational speaker, and today we're talking about money, right? And the feeling of abundance. Money is connected to a feeling. Excuse me. Money is connected to a feeling, and the lack of money is also connected to a feeling. It's a feeling of that I cannot get it, it's so far away. It's a feeling of not having. Now, they normally say that people that normally, this doesn't happen all the time, right? People coming from wealthy families are able to attract money more easily in their life because they have that frequency, that feeling of ease. Because money is connected to the feeling of ease as well. Yes, you need to do something, but it's supposed to be an easy flow. You need to love what you're doing to even get that money come more easily. And in the whole process, believing in yourself, even if you get a rejection. Now, the problem is the nervous system doesn't forget anything. Your nervous system is connected to your subconscious mind, right? Your nervous system doesn't forget anything because everything here in this reality is based on feelings. When you're feeling attacked and you're feeling like you're in scarcity, that you're in trouble, then your nervous system will go into restriction. Then the flow and the ease drops and ends. And now you're feeling restricted, you're feeling unsafe in your reality. You're feeling, oh my God, the month is too long and the money is too little. Now remember, because everything is energy, when you speak your words into your money, they can help you to make that money more and that month lesser when you look at it that way now. If you somebody that's never thought like that, it's a new perception. It's difficult for you to actually implement such things. Even if you read about the law of attraction, you read about manifestation. There's so much concepts on how to make money, how to attract more money into your life. Why do wealthy people, I think somebody's asking in my life, at Africa willing ever unite? Why do wealthy people have a small circle? I tell you why. It's simple. scarcity. Wealthy people also believe and understand in scarcity. That's why they have a small circle. They don't want to let a lot of people know about their lifestyle, number one. Number two, they don't want a lot of people to know about their methods of making money. How can you make money? They want to keep it to themselves in a small circle because there is a still feeling of scarcity. And I'm trying to say, because capitalism also enforces it. I'll tell you why. The most expensive things, you even understand, why is this thing so expensive? Like a simple thing like that luxury foods, or why are they so expensive? Like salmon, why salmon is so expensive? Or maybe why is that the fish eggs thing that they eat in a wealthy circles, why it's so expensive? Because they want to keep it only limited to a small circle of people. And that's how capitalism works. That's why rich people, wealthy people normally keep small circles, because they understand the concept of scarcity. It's an illusion, but they enforce it because it makes them feel somehow that they're some above everybody else. There's a lot of reasons why, right? I've touched on just a few things, but the main things is the perception. The wealthy people have a different perception than, for example, ordinary worker bee people. Their mentality is different, right? So your question, I hope that they're answered a bit, okay? But it's all logical if you think about it, right? Because they want to have that feeling of being different and superior as well. We are the only small people in the world that can afford caviar. That's what I'm looking for, caviar. Caviar is very expensive, especially beluga caviar. This is fish eggs, guys. For Christ's sake, it's fish eggs. And they leave it and they ferment whatever they do, and then they make it like a lot of money. Yet it's just plain fish eggs. If you buy a fish now, go fishing too as well and open it up, you'll find fish eggs. And I mean, what you even ask, why is it so expensive? You see what I'm trying to say? So there's certain things that they make exclusive for themselves. It can be even silly things like caviar. They even gave it a name, caviar. It sounds like some fancy thing, caviar. You understand? So they kind of package things to make them seem so exclusive, only for the exclusive group of people. Hope that answered your question, Lovey. Right. Sing a. You want me to sing? I'm not a singer, Lovey. Is it Elzonia Moloto? How are you, love? You asked me to sing, and I'm not here to sing, but anyway, let me continue. It's all about the money. Today, we're talking about money, right? Remember, firstly, it's a feeling. When you're feeling abundance, right, you're more inclined to attract more money opportunities in your life. When you're feeling lack, and it doesn't matter what situation you are in or where you are born or where you are living, if you're feeling abundance, like for example, every morning you get up with a feeling in your body. You're either feeling happy, joyful, you're feeling excited, you're feeling tired, or you're feeling, you know what I mean? Very like all things are possible kind of vibe within your day, right? Now, look at your days every day for a year, 365 days a year. How do you get up in the morning? And how do you sleep at night? This is where the trick is, right? That your feelings connected to your day's experience, how you end your day, and how you begin your day. Right now, when you somebody wants to tune more on how to be high frequency, to think more positive, to have a high vibes every morning and every evening, it's all about intention. You need to understand what's running in your mind. What are my daily thoughts about money and abundance? You get up in the morning, you're living maybe in a undeveloped in area environment, in a tin shanty or whatever it is, right? A shack. You get up in the morning, you look at your environment, and you're feeling so down. You're feeling so down and depressed about your situation because something within you is telling you you're not supposed to be here. This is not your place. This is not where you're supposed to be. There's more to life. That feeling is there for a reason, right? But now it's clouded with that feeling of, I don't like this place. I'm so depressed. I'm so tired of life. I'm so tired of living in this place. I'm so tired of not able to afford food. That's low frequency. Now you're dropping that message from your soul self telling you that you don't belong here. So when you start changing that feeling of, this place is horrible, I don't like this place, and you focus more on, there's something more in life. There's something more. I deserve more than this. I am worthy of more. You understand? Now, when you're focusing on worthy or more and you say, yes, I can do this thing, let me think of ideas. How can I make more money in my life? Now, now you'll be probably faced with two crossroads in life. The high vibration of making money, okay, I can start something. I can start maybe an NGO in my community, or I can start a business, or I can, a simple business by like collecting rubbish and, like a cleaning business, I can start there. Maybe I like dancing. Let me just start a dance group, right? Because I love dancing, I love music, whatever, right? Let me start that type of business, okay? Starting this business. Oh, there's apps online that can help me, the music, the dancing steps, and everything, right? I'm very, very creative. That is my talent. Okay. I might be living in a shack. I don't have no home. I got nothing that's tangible. I don't have a job, nothing, right? But I have a skill. It's music and dancing. Okay. How can I use that skill for my own benefit? How can I help my community as well? Because I'm sure I'm not the only person in my community that doesn't like to live here. Or else, rather, I like building. I like building. There's so many things you can think of. Okay, let me find. Okay, maybe I can go and speak to some organizations that do like building construction and stuff like that. Let me go and study more about it. It's all of the ideas, guys. Right. So when you're focusing on the possibilities and not on the issue that, oh my God, I hate where I live. I don't like this place. I don't like the shack and all those things. Okay. Remember, there's somebody like myself who got a double, and I still have double challenges in life, right? I'm not an able-bodied person, I have a disability, but I still have to get up and live my life as positive as possible. So if somebody like myself and many others, there's even one lady who was actually, she can't hear, right? She's got a problem with hearing, okay, and she also cannot speak very well, right? But she hasn't given up on life. She's still living a life very positively and stuff like that. You see, when you are addressed to a real challenge, that's when your tenacity and your inner strength pops up from nowhere. You don't even understand where you get the strength from, right? So people, they don't think that's easy. Life is not supposed to be easy. That's the whole thing. And making money, my guys, it's an easy thing because you are the wealth that's within you already. It's a feeling, it's a perception, it's where you are focusing. Wherever you are born, right, you can change your circumstances by you focusing on all the right things to get you where you want to go, right? Where you are born to be. So doesn't say that your life is going to be the way it is. You can always uplift yourself. Think of ideas. Okay, education is a small part of making money. A lot of people have education, but they cannot attract more money into their life. They cannot experience all those things because they don't have the ability to connect to that bliss, that thing that they really like doing. Okay, whatever it is. There was that story. Remember that story they had where President Ramaphosa was interviewing a guy. It was in the COVID time. He was selling ice cream and stuff like that. And yeah, he was hustling, he was struggling, but he was doing something, you understand? That's just one small type of an example. And I think the reason why he even spoke about it was trying to encourage people to think out of the box and don't look at your situation and say, okay, this is helpless. It's useless. I can't do nothing. This is my life. No, you just decide on how your life is going to be, even money, because nothing is or what I call it predestined. Nothing in this reality is predestined. Okay, nothing in this reality is predestined, even when it comes to money. So you might be born in great poverty, but it doesn't mean you're gonna die povertized. You have to crawl yourself out of that situation with your ideologies, your mindsets. You understand? Like, for example, I read an article about a person recently who was born in India, and this girl, they didn't even have a home. They had like those makeshift houses, shanty houses you were living in terrible conditions. Today she's doing modeling and she's on all the covers of the most important, expensive magazines as a model. And she's not even 21 yet. You understand? Because she saw an opportunity. She always felt, and she never complained about her situation. She was taught at a young age to go and sell things in the streets, and she didn't see this is going to be forever. It was more like I'm learning skills on how to market the products that I'm selling, and also to speak. You see what I'm trying to say? People don't understand that every small thing that you do in your life, It's linked to something, and it's linked to a lesson and a strength you're gonna learn, right? So how do I make more money in my life? By you being expensive, be an expensive person to think out of your box, and don't focus in the situation you find yourself in at this moment, because life is full of a lot of opportunities, and sometimes we need to make those own opportunities. Sometimes we need to make those own opportunities and not wait for other people to help us, right? Thank you for joining my live to be so. For those that have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm Christian life coach and motivational speaker, and I speak a lot about wellness, self-development, spirituality, and just the condition of human beings, right? Our condition, how we're connecting with everything in this reality, and how we can have a better time here. Money is free for every single person. Rich people move in small circles because they're feeding on and adding on to the concept of scarcity. They don't want to have big circles. That means that more people are going to know of how I live and how I make my money. Remember, when you have friends, you confide in your friends, right? So they keep it small, and they also have this idea that you need to connect with money. That's another reason why they keep the circle small. Somebody asked me that question. I'm even thinking more deeply in it, right? It's about keeping the circle small. You understand? Only hang around with people that have money. That's why their circles are small. That's scarcity. Let's keep it to ourselves. You understand? Let's help ourselves. Let the circle be very small. That's how it works. 1% of people 1% of people that are wealthy, right? They move in their circles. They don't actually move out of their circles of wealth and affluence. They keep in that circle. It's a matter of, yeah, sticking with my own people, number one. That's another thing. That is the reason why, okay, the rest of the world's population stick together. It goes into the concepts about families and culture, basically. If you look at it that way as well. Certain people, like Jewish people, are very, very connected. They're connected together. They don't actually mix very well with other cultures. And being wealthy and affluent is part of a culture. It's a culture of wealth. That's the reason why they stick together. They feel safe together. Because you understand me, you and I all the same. We all have wealth and abundance. We our families own jets and yachts and stuff like that. We go to private schools together and stuff like that. So we keep it together, right? And then what they do, they kind of say they help in the community when they do philanthropy. Now I'm a philanthropist, I give money out. That makes it feel a little bit like they're doing something, you understand? And at the same time, the same wealthy people globally are also creating businesses and corporations and industries for those people that are in a low level of life, that are not wealthy, don't have money, or can be employed. You understand? Because that's what we are told. You are from the low level, you're only employable. You don't have the smarts or the money to to create business and join our elite group. But it's up to us, it's up to the ordinary people to decide, well, I'm gonna try something, I'm gonna try this thing. Now the trick is to get yourself out of the hustle and out of the struggle. You understand? And no, a simple concept of you don't have to eat three meals a day, right? That's another way people think, okay, if I don't have three meals on my table each day, then it's gonna be a problem. No, it's not necessary. You eat when you're hungry. Like how you spend when you need to spend. It's the same thing. It's about consuming. You understand? It's about consuming. You are consuming the products. People are buying products so much, things they don't even need. Do I need this thing? I have this money. It's also about being smart with money as well. I have 1,000 rands in my bank account, right? I only have one need. I need electricity. Yes, I'm gonna take 200 rand or 100 rand. I buy electricity. Okay. I need some food. I'll take that and buy. Take another 100 rand to buy food. You understand? Now you got eight. Just give you an example. The mindset thinking has to be clear and precise. Manage your money very well, but understand there's more where it comes from. And at the same time, use that money to start something else, afresh as well. As I said, always say you can use some money and invest it into in something that's gonna yield a profit for you. That's how you should be thinking. You understand? Because if you just consuming and not creating becomes a problem. You see, that's another concept I learned is that the wealthy people are normally or the creators. They create businesses, they create products and they sell them, right? So in your own small capacity, we can just start small. In your own capacity, small capacity, you can create a product or a service and sell to your community for a nice price that's reasonable. You get what I'm trying to say? Because you got to look at the people you're going your public, the people that you're selling to, your consumers. You understand? You need to consider their pocket as well. Then there's one lady who spoke about wealth and abundance, and she mentioned something about how you can tap into getting more wealthy clients, make your product more expensive, right? But now you need to have a means to get to your healthy clients. You can't be like, for example, uh, a tuck shop in the township, and you start increasing your product prices too high for your community, your consumers, the people that are supposed to buy your products cannot afford it, right? So she's more considering like more if you're doing like international business. Okay, where you increase your prices because wealthy people like high prices. Wealthy people like high prices. It gives the feeling of being exclusive and more superior. And that concept has been debunked so many times. Okay, now, oh, my phone fell. Just give me a second. I was making notes, taking notes from my phone. Talking about abundance and wealth. Okay, it's about the feeling of wealth. Okay, a feeling of plentiful. When you look at something and you don't see the lack, you see like opportunities. Okay, I am where I am now. I can get somewhere if I just add more effort, maybe a different approach. See money differently, as I say, right? Nedbank's motto: see money differently. See it as something that is there, possible, and always available for you. When you see money as being scarce, it becomes a problem, right? Scarcity is a mindset. Scarcity is a mindset. It's not something that's true and really now reality, right? Now let's talk more about the mindset. Scarcity. Why do people have scarcity mindsets? Because of the experiences that they've had in their childhood, because of the experiences they've been having from the time they became adolescents and adults, okay? The experience of trying certain things and they're failing at it. The experience of being in debt. When you're in debt, you also feel kind of in attack. You don't feel easy and at ease in your heart and in your mind. You don't feel at ease in your mind and your heart, okay? So abundance is a mindset. And when you have abundance mindset, you never even feel at lack, even if you don't only have a little of a certain. You look in your bank account and you only have how much? 500 rand in your bank account and you have the rest of the month, right? Remember that you've really spent a bulk of your money on all the necessities that you have. You have electricity, you paid for it. You have the water, you pay for it, because in South Africa, if you're renting, you pay. Then even if you're not renting, you pay at the municipality for water. You open the tap and there's water. That's the feeling of plentiful. I am taken care of. Even if I have this money in my bank account, this is temporal. There's nothing here that's lasting forever, right? So scarcity is also linked on this is forever. It's not, nothing is forever in reality. So you might be born in a situation where there's not enough money. It doesn't mean that you will die in a situation where you don't have money, don't experience money. A lot of people dream of high life and they've never ever experienced it or seen anybody in their own life. Soft high life, as they call it. Soft high life, meaning that I can afford anything I want in my life, money wise, right? But it's all starting within you. So remember, the feeling of abundance would give you a feeling of peace. I'm okay, I'm satisfied. How can I make more money? How can I attract more money? Are we asking that question more in our lives? Okay, not out of desperation, but out of creation. Right. So the business people will tell you you need to find ways of making money. Life example. What can I do or create that I can sell? What am I good at? Maybe I'm good at hair. Maybe I'm good at numbers and stuff like that. Maybe I can partner with other people. That's the thing about the wealthy families or the wealthy people, the wealthy circles. They stick together and they help each other. Then in the lower levels of society, we have a problem with we disconnect a lot, and we think that life is a competition. We're all competing for the certain thing. We don't understand if this is a game of life, and sometimes you need to collaborate with others, ask for help from others. How can we together here in our community make our community more affluent? How can we create more jobs in our communities? That's how the wealthy people think. You understand? So we want to keep the money to ourselves. We want to keep it here within our circles. How can we now create more businesses? They now go in partnerships. They go in partnerships and they make more money. Why aren't the poorer people doing that? Because of scarcity and lack mentality. And the thought of scarcity means it's not enough success. When you are successful, I cannot be successful, and vice versa. That's a program you need to override, because at the end of the day, when two or more come together in agreement, great things can be created, right? And remember, the success is free for everyone. It's not scarce. Success is free for everyone. It is not scarce. The concept about scarcity is a mindset. It's a mindset that success and money is it's so difficult and it's scarce. It's not scarce. Walk into Sandton, go to Belito, go to Cape Town, the affluent areas. You'll see how money flows. A simple thing. Go and Google the commissions in South Africa, how much money each commission cost. Go and see how other people are living in the world. Money is not scarce, money is abundant. It's all a mentality. The mentality triggers an action. A worldview triggers an action idea, right? Everything is in your mind. You're living and creating your mind from your delusional state from your mind, because this is basically a holographic reality, and nothing real is happening here. Nothing real is happening here. It's all a holographic reality. So, for example, a fantasy story, right? Basically, it's like that. But now people get so absorbed in the situation they find themselves in at this moment. Life is a struggle. Life is not a struggle. Life has challenges. Life has problems. But life is not a struggle. Life is easy. Now, when you get up every morning and you get that feeling that life is a struggle, you've already set the day to be a struggle. That's the reason why I'm very big on the morning routine and the evening routine. The morning routine, you got to get up and feel yourself. You go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, use the toilet, you do the morning routine, right? You sit down and you ask yourself, how do I feel today? I mean, just a few minutes before you even start getting ready for work, ask yourself, how do I feel today? And why do I feel like this? Okay? Why do I feel like life is so difficult? Ask yourself. And then when you put all those reasons down in your journal, and ask yourself, after you say, like, why do I feel life is difficult, you get the answers. Because I have to get up every morning, I have to work in a company with people I don't like working with, I'm having a problem with money. Write everything down. When it's all down on paper, then you read it back to yourself and you say, okay, let's look at solutions now. Let's look at solutions. Okay, look at solutions. Firstly, for you to have this time to do all these things, it means you sleep early, right? So you can get up early. You need to be at work at 8 o'clock, or you're starting at 8, right? People have this problem. They sleep at night, midnight, and they want to get up in the morning, and then you want to have a productive day. It doesn't work like that. You need to sleep early. 8 o'clock. If you need to be at the office at 8 in the morning, right? You sleep at 8 at night. At least by 8 o'clock at night, you're sleeping. This is how you start cultivating your energy for positivity, by you managing your time. You only have 24 hours, as they say in the day. Manage your time very well, right? Now, that's also linked to discipline. I've been speaking a lot about discipline, because you get up in the morning and doing your morning routine every day is discipline. Okay, you getting ready for work and going to work every day is discipline. You're really disciplined. You don't lack it. You're just not looking at all the other areas in your life where you can add more discipline. Now, discipline's linked to more money, basically. People don't understand that, but it is linked to more money. because you know how to control yourself, control your spending, control your thoughts, control everything to make it more positive, right? That's where it's always linked, okay? That's where discipline is, okay? So that's how we go, right? So we start in the morning after a good night's rest and sleep at 8 o'clock, okay? You start in the morning, you do your morning routine, you go to the bathroom, you shower, you brush your teeth, whatever, then you take like 5 minutes just to sit down and ask yourself, how do I feel? How does my body feel? How do I feel about my life and my day? How do I feel about my work? How do I really truly feel? And then write it down, not maybe 5 points on how I feel. When you finish doing that, you read it and then you ask yourself, now why do I feel that? Or another few minutes to ask myself, why do I feel like this? Is this something real? Can I change it? What are the solutions to how I feel? If I'm feeling bad, what are the solutions to make me feel better about my life experience, basically, right? And you write those down, okay? If you can do one or two reasons why, it's okay as well, okay? Then you do your meditation process, so you're breathing in and you're breathing out, and then you're actually talking to yourself. Now you're seating positive thoughts about yourself and your day, right? I'm an abundance person. The situation is not forever. It's forever changing. I choose to allow my situation to change. I choose to allow my situation to change for more money to come into my life, buy different money experiences, more experiences that can bring me more money in my life. Okay. I choose to honor the money that I have, right? You say affirmations. Now, what I used to do is write them down, right? And then every morning I just re-say them to myself until I feel good about what I'm saying. And I feel I really believe in these things that I'm saying, because it's also a link to believing. What you believe to be true in your life is your worldview, okay? So when you're reseating your mind with positive words and affirmations, it's about you writing those things or writing them down and reading them and believing in that you are worthy of abundance. I'm open to abundance. God or source or whatever spirit, open me up to more abundance in my life. Give me opportunities and ideas on how to make more money. Trigger some of my inner abilities that I have and skills, so I'm able to make more money in my life. Money comes easy. When you're walking or you're going into the taxi, if you're using a taxi, you get into text, you look through the window and you see all the beautiful things in the world, in the life, and then even your thoughts at the time are important when you're going to work. What are you thinking about life and yourself? Are you thinking more about your problems, about, oh my God, my problems are not paying rent and all those things? That's not what are you doing now? You're focusing on a frequency that's low. So you start your morning with those positive thoughts and affirmations. In your taxi, you do the same thing. I'm worthy. This is a temporary situation. I can see myself with my own car one day. I'm not sure when, but very, very soon. Now you're playing a game in your mind, okay? This is for the ordinary people that are still trying to get out of living in poverty. It's all about changing in your mindset. You're traveling in a taxi, you're looking at all these beautiful cars. Choose a car that you think one day you will drive, your future self will drive. Those are the games you must play in your mind for you to get out of it, right? If you listen to Kanye Bauer's interview, an old interview about money, and where she was brought up, her father was a business person in the location. Okay, so it's not surprising that she is who she is at this time, right? But when she was younger, she said she had to act because she wanted more than where she was. She wanted more than what the father had achieved and experienced. Kanye wanted more. Okay, and yes, whatever people can say, whatever they want to say, she's a slave queen. That's your own business and your own opinion. Because now you're laboring people, laboring people that are willing to do anything to get what they want. For me, I just think that there's a choice. There's no right and wrong, and those that are labeling people don't do anything, right? They don't get successful because they're too busy criticizing other people. You understand? Not to say that her lifestyle then or even now was good or bad, whatever, because life is not about that. If you're looking at life in the lenses of what is evil and what is good and what is bad, right, it's going to cause problems because of the fact that you're not giving freedom. You want freedom. You want freedom to manifest things in your life, but you are judging other people. You're not giving them any freedom, meaning that you're not giving yourself freedom, meaning that When you come across a situation whereby you need to do something to get money, and you have this wild view of this is right, this is wrong, and because you're judging other people, basically, because when you judge other people, you judge yourself. When you judge other people, you judge yourself, okay? And I'm not saying that it's right for people to do bad things like crime and stuff like that. That is a choice, and there is consequences of it. So if you decided I'm going to do crime to make money, understand that it will maybe work for you for temporarily, but in the long term it's not going to work anymore because you are piling up negative karma by you doing something which is hurting other people, crime. You understand? Take it from somebody else who gets up every morning like you and go to work. And that's the funny thing about petty crime. It's taking from people that like them, that are also struggling trying to make money, and they're taking from them. But I mean, people don't even have much. You get to understand what I'm trying to say. Instead of you saying, well, if I'm gonna do crime, maybe it would big. I'm gonna do it big. I'm gonna go to those people, lots of money, get the money, and leave my circle of people. You understand? Because if why risk your life in crime for 100 rand, 1,000 rand? How many times you have to risk your life doing crime to get only 1,000 rand? Logical thinking. You have to be a mastermind and think clearly in your life. Even if you choose the path that's right, the path of light of making money. I'll use my skills and my time and my abilities and my strength to make the money. I'll use what God has given me, my smarts, how to make more money. And another thing with money is this: not every single person is inspiring to be very wealthy, like a billionaire or a millionaire or whatever, right? Not every single person is aspiring for that level of wealth. Other people are just aspiring to just want to be comfortable, have a couple of cars, maybe being able to afford a place in Santon, whatever, or maybe even starting my own business and, servicing community, maybe travel. I just want to be able to travel at least 3 times a year or 4 times a year. You know what I'm trying to say? I just want to live that life that's gonna give me some of that material happiness and pleasure. And then there are those people that want to live in a house that's okay. My house should be worth 6 billion, or my car should be worth 5 billion. You see, people have different levels of what they want in terms of money, right? So don't think it's only one set roof every single person. You understand that kind of thing. Some people are just satisfied to have the little that they have. So not every single person is happy with achieving a lot of things in life. Some people are just happy with just achieving small things. I just want to have a family, a husband with a good career and a job and a great pension and all those things, just to be comfortable, feed and educate my children. That's okay as well. That's their level of wealth. That's their level of happiness and abundance. Okay, now back to abundance being a feeling, right? Money is linked to the feeling, okay? Because the unseen manifests or creates the scene. So money is linked to the feeling, right? As I get closer to closing my life today, right? Understand that money is linked to a feeling, abundance feeling, money plentiful in my life, joy, happiness. And remember, there's more than money connected to abundance. There's peace, there's safety as well. There's been satisfied and been content, that feeling, okay? And then you have people that feel, okay, well, abundance is only money. Abundance is happiness. Abundance is peace. Abundance is joy. Abundance is freedom. Okay, now that's how we even look at it that way, right? Money is just one small concept of abundance, feeling abundance. Because money is having that physical check or the physical money in your hand or the money in your bank account, all those zeros in your bank account, okay? That's another expression of abundance. Now, a lot of us have been taught that the only abundance is manifested in the money. No, it's not. Abundance are manifested in your happiness, in your peace, in your joy, in your contentment, in your gratitude as well, in your health as well. Your physical health is abundant because without the physical health, you cannot have anything else. You cannot experience life nicely when you don't have a healthy body. You don't have physical health and mental health, okay, energetic health, okay. You can't experience life and you don't have anything really. Even if you have 10,000 in your bank account, or even if you have like 50,000 in your bank account, so you earn a lot of money, but you're always sickly. There's not abundance. That it's like it's not healthy and it's not balanced, right? So I like to tell the people that I coach, your abundance starts in your health, basically. Your abundance starts in your health. Okay, just give me a second. Right, I'm having a bit of a network. I went off for a while there, right? Sorry about that. Abundance starts in your health, in your body, right? How do you? That's why I always say in the morning you have the routine where a ritual where you ask yourself, how do I feel today? How do I feel in my body? Am I tired? Then I need to sleep more. I need to sleep more earlier. Maybe my routine is not correct. I'm eating too late. So in the night I cannot sleep. I'm moving around. I find it hard to sleep. Maybe I need to finish my food and earlier, like for example, your last meal at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, instead of making your meal, last meal at 8 o'clock, and then at 8:30 you want to get into bed. You're not gonna able to sleep because your body is still busy digesting, and it's slower then because remember, our bodies work with the circadian rhythm, the way the world, the earth moves and stuff like that, right? So your body knows when it's in the morning and when it's in the evening, when it's in the afternoon. The fire in your digestive system is more active in the morning until about 2 o'clock or so in the day, right? Because now remember the sun is more high at certain times of the day. So early in the morning, do all your food you're eating then and stuff like that, right? Because then your fire is still burning. And then when you're sleeping, it's all about the rest. And we all know it's even biologically and scientific proven that when you go to bed with a full stomach, you cannot sleep very well. There could be another reason. I mean, there's many reasons why you're getting up in the morning and you're exhausted. Could be maybe your habits, you're smoking too much, or you're drinking too much alcohol, you're not eating very healthy. So you have to look at all those things. Now, all those things are linked to your money. Your habits are linked to your money. Your habits are linked to your money, basically, right? Like a person might have a good job, right? But they have the habit of not being helpful in the workspace. They not have the habit of not being, a team player in the workplace. They don't like people and stuff like that, right? It's gonna affect their money in the long term, right? Like for example, you might just lose the job because you're not a team player. You're not a people's person, but the position needs somebody who's a people person. That's what I'm trying to say. Your attitude and your habits are linked to your money. Your attitudes and your habits are linked to your money. When you have a great attitude of gratitude and you are open and grateful for where you are now and you never complain, right? Even if you're having a problem, you can talk about it. No, there's something a difference between talking about your problem and complaining about it. Complaining is more like very negatively and you are nagging and you're talking about the problem continuously and you're saying like, why am I in a situation? My life is so miserable and all those things. That is complaining. But if you tell a person, I have a problem, I have this challenge, right? You are talking about it because you want someone to give you a suggestion on how to solve the problem. You're not really complaining about it. You're just unpacking it so somebody can help you. You took it to a friend, you tell him, I'm in a situation. I have this problem. What do you think? What do you think? How should I solve it? People that complain don't want to have that discussion on how I can solve it. They just want to talk and complain and be toxic and stuff like that, right? But when people suggest solutions, they switch off. They switch off. They're not absorbing those solutions to the problem because they feel that all they need to do is talk about their problems. Now, people like that push their money away, their money opportunities away as well, right? As I told you, your attitude and your habits can push your money flow away. Your opportunities of connecting with people and circumstances that can bring more money in your life, right? So money is specifically connected to a feeling, as I said. It's a feeling of abundance and a surety. I'll give you another example. A person can have the best job in the world, earn about 6,000 a month or 60,000 a week, or something like not even a month. That's too little. I'm talking about 6,000 a week. Now imagine it's 4 weeks, 6,000 a week, or even more than that, or maybe you're topping up to 200K a week, whatever business you're doing, right? But if you have an attitude of lack although you're making this money, right? Because, for example, maybe you were lucky enough, you're born in a family, you have a skill or a talent that can bring that money into your life every week. You're getting that money, whatever, right? Or maybe you're even doing whatever not so nice things, you're doing some crime, whatever. You don't get to enjoy your money because of your attitude. You keep complaining about the money. You're still not able to share with other people because you feel it's scarce, that this money is so scarce. See, an attitude. Your attitude regards to money can either break your bank or it can make your bank. In other words, your attitude is very important in life, in all areas, and specifically with your money. You understand? When you look at your bank account and you're feeling down, that's an attitude of negativity, okay? You're not being grateful. Month end, you get your salary and you're thinking, oh my God, my bills gonna come up, because as in our system that's run in this world, in the capitalist system, right? Because even in other countries, you go to Canada, go to America, go to Europe, okay, it works the same way. There will be the accounts will come out of your salary. As soon as your salary hits your bank account, then you hear those notifications because your tax is coming out. Right now, we have a problem of balancing the debts and the money flow. The money is coming into our life and the debts. Now, remember, the system is run on debt. The global capitalist system is run on debt, right? So we need to understand that debt is not a crime, right? It makes you feel bad to have too much debt when you're not managing it, but it's not a crime because it's run by the system, right? So if you find yourself in debt, understand that it's a system that works with debts, right? So that's why even if you can't afford something and they give you the loan, even if you can't afford to pay it, they give you the loan, right? Because at the end of the day, right, it's run on the debt. So money is a game. Think of it as a game. Don't take it too serious, okay? Understand as well that your partner should always be taken care of. Unfortunately, safety has been linked to having more money. People feel safe when they have more money, right? People feel safe when they have more money because we are told and programmed that safety is linked to money. A simple thing, okay? Like, for example, in my situation, I grew up in a home where my mom was a factory worker, a single parent. She got paid on Fridays. Okay. By Monday, she had no money because she had 4 children to feed and too many responsibilities. Okay. So whenever she got paid, she feels safe. I have money. Right. And it also kind of programmed us, her children, as well, because you could see on Friday she's happy. We're getting all the things we need. There seems to be joy and safety in the home. We feel secure. All of us are feeling good. Right. And when there's no money, there was a feeling of, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm not safe, I'm not happy, I'm not joyful. So we connect money and having money to happiness and safety. And that's where the problem comes in. If we can unlearn that and understand that even if I don't have enough in my bank account, I'm still safe. Because it's in your nervous system. Remember, I said that your nervous system records all your emotional experiences, right? So something of safety, something of unsafety. So you're really being rigged and programmed from your nervous system up, basically. In your body, your nervous system, your mindsets about money. You're really being programmed. So as now we are adults, we need to learn how to unprogram and reprogram something more positive. I am abundance. And my bank account it's not a reflection of my abundance. My bank account is not a reflection of my abundance. You understand? My bank account is not a reflection of my abundance. I'm always provided for. I'm always provided for. Go back to basics. Look at nature. Always provided for. They have different seasons, and everything is fine and dandy, right? Human beings should also try and see themselves as parts of nature. We always provided for. My bank account just means that there's a certain amount of money, physical money I can use to buy something, to pay for something. It has nothing to do with my safety. There's nothing to do with my well-being because I'm always safe. Right? I'm always safe. You need to reprogram the nervous system that's been programmed that money equates to safety. No, it doesn't. Money equates to more material things, a better experience in the material world. It does not equate to safety. And this is something that I had to even work on myself as well. That when I see that money, how much I have in my bank account, right? I don't equate it to safety and my well-being. It just means that I have maybe a little or lesser than a few weeks ago left in my bank accounts. That's all it simply means. I have lesser financial resources to buy something that I need now, so I can hold on to my needs that I have now. It doesn't mean I am unsafe and life is terrible. It all simply means that, yeah, I just got another few weeks where I can now fulfill this other need that I have. Okay, you understand? That pushes you out of survival. You're not just surviving. Yeah, you're thriving. You always provided for. Your bank account is only a reflection of how much means you have in the physicality to buy whatever you want now at this time. But remember that you are an abundant person, right? And remember that if you are into business, try something small capacity and then grow gradually, right? If you somebody that wants to make money with regards to starting a business, understand it's all coming from you understanding that everything in this reality is based on ideas, ideology. I have an idea of this product that I think can make a lot of money. What can I do to start the business? How do I start it? Okay, this is my business plan. Let me write it down. Okay, an email business plan is complex because it's speaking about my customers, it's speaking about my products, it's speaking about my approach, my business approach, my financial stuff, what my business is all about. It's just like it's a mission statement or whatever it is, you may call it that, right? So you get that done. When people have ideas for business, they get so overwhelmed, they don't think that if you can just start small. Let me just write it down first. Even if you don't have a computer or a laptop, write it down on a piece of paper. Okay, this is what I think my business is going to serve these type of people. It's going to be like this. The costing, I will sell my product for that product, this amount and all those things. If we can teach children this at a young age, we'll understand that all things are possible, that abundance and prosperity, right, in the money form is linked to selling something, exchanging it for money, my skills, my abilities as well, right? Don't get in a place where people decide, well, I'm going to do the easy way. Maybe I'll go into prostitution or something, because you don't understand that all I need to do is think of an idea, a concept so they can make money for me. And whatever I have now, I have plentiful. And my safety is not linked to money. My safety is linked to the fact that I am a child of God, that I am a fragmentation of God, that I'm always provided for. My safety and my health is not linked to money. And if people can get out of that space of feeling threatened when you don't see money in your bank account, maybe the world will be a better place if we try to be more safer in our bodies and in our minds, and don't depend on this money thing. Money is good, but we've now made everything about money, because obviously when you need physical things, you need more money. But your safety, okay. I think another thing is the satisfaction. When people want something, you want it because you want to make yourself feel better. You want that car because you want to make yourself better. You want that house because you want to make yourself feel more better, feel more safe, you feel more secure because you have a place to live in. You want to rent or you want to buy. It's always about that feeling, right? So when it comes to manifesting, they say you must get the feeling before you get the thing. In other words, you must feel safe first within yourself and trust that you are safe, that all things are possible, that you are worthy of having all the things that you want in life, right? So remember, everything is a mindset, a feeling as well. Okay, when it comes to minds to money, it's a mindset, your habits and your feelings as well, how you feel about life, how safe you feel. You understand? And don't expect money to make you feel safe. Your safety should come before the money. The money is only to buy the cell phones, to buy the whatever you're into, crystals, whatever you're into, all the physical things. Money is all about that. It's about getting all the physical things so you can have pleasure and feel comfortable here. But you alone, you are already abundant. You're already worthy of a lot of money. You're already worthy of all the pleasures you want in life. But when you don't feel worthy, it becomes a problem. Your worthiness opens that door for you to get that job, to get that money. That worthiness opens that door for you to meet that person that's going to make it better, or an opportunity for you to get more money in your experience. Your worthiness to become that business person you want to become, that worthiness of traveling the world and seeing the world. If you feel unworthy and feel broken within yourself, that you're not worthy of abundance, then you will not get abundance. You will not feel it because you're not feeling worthy. You see, it's I always say, it's always about the feeling. It always starts with the feeling. Our emotional bodies are also creating this reality big time, guys. Okay, so have a great week further, because it's Sunday today. So tomorrow's Monday, and we start another work week, right? I want you to understand that you are worthy of abundance, worthy of all the money you need or want in life, or any experience. You are worthy. Your worthiness is very important. When you feel that you're good enough to have whatever you want to have in life. And remember your morning and your evening. The evening is to close your day, to say, thank you, God. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for all the experiences. Thank you for the opportunities that you're bringing forth in my life. You got to thank God or universe before the opportunities come. You understand? You cannot be, because when you do that, you're preparing your mind, your subconscious mind, for that thing to come in. Because you're also creating or connecting through the astral realm in your subconscious mind, connecting to source. So when you feel worthy, then you shall be able to manifest things in your life. If you close yourself up energetically and not having that feeling of abundance, it becomes a problem, guys. Okay? So have a great week, Father. And remember to be kind and loving to yourself and to others as well. Okay? Have a great day or a great week further, guys. Bye.